It takes a lot of being intentional and understanding what energy we're sitting in the majority of the day. And a lot of us believe that we don't have any control over our internal state. And I'm here to tell you that we do have control if we choose to take action before something happens in our external reality that triggers us and gives us an emotional response that may be too big for us to control. Good morning, reality benders. Welcome to another vlog. I am very excited about today's vlog because I'm going to explore a law of attraction theme with you. If you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and make sure that you comment so I know that you like these types of videos, and I will continue to create more like this. So today we're going to be talking about magnetism. Now, I know I'm asking for a lot of engagement right now, but I'm still learning what you guys want to see and how to create my vlogs around the information that I want to give to my community. So I'm asking you, would you be into the idea of a complete law of attraction breakdown, maybe like a 20-30 minute video, but from the perspective of a woman who is a Christian? Because that is kind of where I find my perspective shifting with the law of attraction. My thoughts and beliefs are not different, but where my sense of worthiness comes from and where my sense of energy and my sense of being comes from is very different now. So if you would like me to make a whole video on the law of attraction so that when I make these little law of attraction videos, you have something to reference. For example, if you're new to my channel and you don't really understand anything about the law of attraction, let me know if that's something you're interested in, and I will make a nice staple video for everyone to reference when they're curious. Okay, but today we're talking about magnetism. I hear the word magnetism on YouTube a lot when it comes to feminine energy and learning how to attract the partner or the husband that you want, and that is definitely a part of the conversation. Magnetism is how you attract. And in order to understand what you're attracting, you must understand what you are putting out. Today we are not specifically talking about how to attract a partner, but we're talking about the overall situation, how to attract the entire 360 lifestyle that we desire. Now, the law of attraction can be looked at in a spiritual way, but it can also be looked at from the lens of psychology. When you understand the type of person that you are and you understand the actions and the emotions that you're putting out, you can look at this from a lens of spirituality where you can say, I'm putting this out and God is giving this back to me. Or you can look at this from a lens of psychology where you say, I am this type of person and I think in this way, so subconsciously I speak, think, and act from this place, which determines how my life unfolds because my actions are underlined by this type of thinking. You can think of it from both ways. I think both work. All that being said, when it comes to magnetism and making sure that we are putting out the energy that we do want to receive back into our lives, it takes a lot of being intentional and understanding what energy we're sitting in the majority of the day. And a lot of us believe that we don't have any control over our internal internal state. And I'm here to tell you that we do have control if we choose to take action before something happens in our external reality that triggers us and gives us an emotional response that may be too big for us to control. So before that happens, we can teach ourselves how to create routines and how to perform actions that keep us in a state of receiving and allowing. By doing that, we are maintaining an internal sense of peace. And that's where I would like to start with this magnetism conversation. For me, in the mornings, I like to create a baseline of ease and peace in my day, specifically because I have big things on my horizon. I have big things on my vision board that I know that God will bring into fruition. But these things require growth out of me. These things require me to stretch and be uncomfortable. I know God's going to deliver the situations that will transform me, but it's up to me to be capable to withstand those situations and grow through them versus shrinking away because I'm afraid. So I like to ground my mornings in peace, calm, ease, and certainty. Those are the energies that I like to spread throughout the early hours of the day, because that gives me a good, strong foundation for whatever the day may bring. I am a person who lives in a way where I do not run away from being uncomfortable. I do not run away from situations that may not seem like what I want, because I understand that God has a bigger plan and I don't always know how it's going to look at the very beginning. I choose to practice faith and go into the situation with faith, no matter what it looks like on the outside. But in order to be able to do that while keeping my mental health in check, I must be able to understand what ease and peace feel like in my body so that I can maintain that feeling, but also call on God to send me more of that feeling, even through stages of transition and transformation. As much as I would like to keep this aesthetic and cute, I am going to turn the light on. So I slept with my earrings on by mistake. I don't know how it happened, but here we are. So I am going to cut my hair. I want to talk about magnetism and beauty routines, the routines that we use to maintain our external presentation, because the way that we present ourselves is a reflection of what we have going on internally. And it's really important to know that when I say this, I'm not talking about societal beauty standards. I'm talking about presenting ourselves in a way that feels good to us. Something I always talk to my husband about is how we can identify when our mental health is starting to slip, because sometimes we don't really realize when we're falling out of our routines, or when we're not praying as much or meditating as much. We don't really realize it until our mindset is all over the place, when it's like a little too late and there's a lot of cleanup that has to take place. And one of the number one ways I can personally identify when my mental health is starting to shift is how I'm keeping up with my beauty routines, how I'm keeping up with my physical routines. Not talking about makeup, not talking about like intense 23-step skincare. More so, am I keeping my hair at an even length, a length that I like? Am I washing my face? Am I brushing my teeth 2 times a day? Am I moisturizing my skin and my body? Am I cleaning my cuticles? Things like that. I do have a whole beauty routine that is separate from makeup. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. But a big part of maintaining your magnetism is feeling worthy of being magnetic, feeling worthy of the attraction. The worthiness goes into belief system, and that is such a big part of manifesting. Our routines that we use to stay in alignment with how we would like to present ourselves are very important, because they make us magnetic, because deep down we feel worthy of the very things that we desire by maintaining these routines. Do you feel how my magnetism has increased? I feel more myself. I feel like I am ready to go out into the world as my best self, except for now there's hair all over my bathroom. So I'm going to vacuum this hair up, then I'm gonna shower, and then I am going to make some toast and some scrambled eggs because I have been thinking about it for like the past 2 hours, and I'm like, my body is ready for what I see in my mind. You'll see what I'm saying, because you're probably like, toast and scrambled eggs? That sounds a little basic. You're that excited? Oh, I am. You'll see why. But before I do that, you might be wondering, why don't I go to get my hair cut? Why don't I go to a barber? And is this really crooked? I feel like the camera is really crooked, but it's okay. You might be wondering why I don't go to a barber, and that is simply because my magnetism. I have 2 children, and I am a pretty busy person. And if you have been waiting on a hair appointment before, if you know what I'm saying, then you know that the closer you get to your hair appointment, the more you feel undone, the more you feel like, oh, I don't look good, I'm not gonna be who I want to be until I'm at my hair appointment. I remember when I used to get my hair braided. I remember when I used to even have to wait to have time to retwist my locks. The week to 2 weeks before, I would start to lose some of my internal balance. Magnetism, I keep saying it, but I would lose some of that intensity that I had within me to attract because I was so worried about not feeling like I was presenting myself the way I wanted to present myself. The reason I cut my own hair is so that I can cut my hair when I'm ready to cut my hair. I do not have to wait for appointments. I don't have to wait for time to open up my schedule. I could do it when I have 30 minutes to just do it. That's why I'm a big advocate for being able to do your own hair. But that being said, I will be getting like fades and stuff for a special occasion. That's the good Lord saying I'm talking too much. When I was filling out my planner a couple weeks ago, I was putting stickers in my planner, and one of the affirmation stickers that I found said, "You have to nourish in order to flourish." And I just felt so called out because at that time I was not prioritizing my nutrition. And ever since, I hear in my head, you gotta nourish in order to flourish. So the next step to becoming, well, not step, the next item on my list to increase your magnetism is to make sure that you are eating a diet that allows you to feel energized, grounded, and healthy, staying away from any foods that put you off balance or the excess of food that puts you off balance. Because I'm a person who believes that everything is fine in moderation. Personally, me and meat, we do not get along. My body does not like meat. But otherwise, I eat pretty much everything. It takes an intuitive mind to know how to eat intuitively and to be able to pay attention to your body and to pay attention to how certain foods interact with your body. If we're living off of coffee and chips, we don't really have the internal energy in order to be magnetic. It takes energy in order to attract energy, and we're going to get met with the same energy that we're putting out. That is what we're going to be met with. So if the level of energy that we're putting out is low, that's what we're going to be met with. So keeping ourselves energized and healthy through the foods that we eat is a very important step to becoming magnetic. You smell good. Look at your lunch. It would be nice if you did have a job where you could come home for lunch. Okay, husband has gone back to work. I just got my cloths out of the dryer. I am going to roll my cloths up, wet them, put some lavender and maybe some eucalyptus on them, and then throw them in the refrigerator. This is our next item on our list, which is generosity. In order to increase your magnetism, you have to make sure that you are open to being generous. And a lot of people think that generosity only applies to money and giving, doing charity, all of that stuff. And that is a part of being generous, but sometimes it's also about our time. And it's also about how we choose to give through others and how we choose to show others that we love them. So today, I am creating cool towels for my students so that after we do our hot yoga flow at the very end of class, they will have hot towels, or cool towels, excuse me, to put on their face. And like, let me tell you, if you comment down below, have you taken a hot yoga class before? And if you have, tell me about your cool cloth experience at the end of class, because there is no better feeling to me. There is no better feeling. The aroma, the feeling on my face, and then like at the very end of class using the same cloth to wipe my mat down, like there's just something so wonderful about it, and I want to give that experience to my students. So I'm going to take my time to roll these cloths up, put a little bit of oil on them, and then set them in the refrigerator. Remember, it's so important that we do not give in order to expect anything back. It's important that we give so that we know that scarcity is an illusion, and that we can continue giving and continue showing others love without feeling like we're depleting ourselves or like we are missing something. So we're not giving to receive anything back. We're giving to expand our inner world. I love productive mornings because they make it so sweet when I can finally sit down and relax on my couch. Dom, get it together. Get the camera in focus. So I'm going to chill out for a little while, do a little tiny bit of reading. You guys know I've been reading this for like a year. The Body Keeps Score, but the past month I've been forcing myself to read 10 pages a day. I'm not gonna say I'm a fast reader. I'm not a slow reader either. I'm pretty average. I don't know why this book has taken me so long to get through. Have any of you guys read it? If so, how long did it take you to get through? It is very dense. It's so much information, but it's so good, and it really helps me understand why I do what I do, which brings me to the next point, which is our second to last point, which is expansion. Always learning, always being open to learn. Yeah. If you want to be sure in yourself and your ability to live any reality that you see for yourself, the only way that you can subconsciously believe that you are capable is by continuing to expand. Because if you don't have it today, what makes you think that you can have it tomorrow? It's not necessarily that we must obtain things from outside of ourselves, but when we get more knowledge, we unlock things within our soul and within our own personalities, which is why expansion is so important. So, all this to say, I am going to get a blankie, sit back, and read 10 more pages of this book. Hey guys, I'm just here with my best friend.
Oh, hello.
It was so funny because I was like, I need to sit and meditate. I have all of these feelings. God has us both in a period of transition right now. And in periods of transition, it is so important to meditate and focus on how you want to feel, because transition puts the ego in overdrive and it makes everything so scary because things start to look different, right? So it's so important to meditate when you're in periods of growth and expansion. So I have my headphones here, and as you see, they have a cord, and I was like, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if I could just find my little adapter that connects my headphones to my So I connect my headphones to my cell phone. So I'm like, I'm gonna walk into my office and the connector is gonna be right there. So I walk in, I don't see it. And I was like, I don't mind putting in effort, I'll look for it a little bit. So I start looking for it. I find some stickers and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bring these stickers out and show them to Adam. Keep looking for it, keep looking for it. And then after like 6 minutes, I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. I will figure it out. So I walk out of the room holding the headphones, not knowing what I'm gonna do yet. And then I remember that the headphones are Bluetooth headphones. They're Bluetooth headphones. I don't need the connector. So the point of this story is the Lord is always with you, even when you don't know it. That's the point. My favorite time of the day. It's time for yoga class. Yeah. My husband watched my dance. Oh, no, don't give me a thumbs up. I don't want it. I reject it.
History, passing on folklore, and indoctrinating new students. But fuck them, the Civil War hospital.
They always are.
They always are. It was also a morgue.
Oh, it's the hospital. It's where people are really.
Hey friends, so my class is over. I just finished cleaning the studio, and before I head out, I'm going to end the vlog with the very last point. Is that kind of spooky? Like just seeing that empty space behind me, I feel like that's kind of spooky. I'm gonna turn around. Okay, that's better. The last point I have for how to increase your magnetism is consistently doing things that endanger your ego or scare you. For me, it's teaching yoga in public with people. If you followed this channel for a while, you know that I've really struggled with social anxiety. And a lot of us who have struggled with social anxiety, we tend to take human interactions very personally. And every human interaction can stick with us and hang on our shoulders, right? And it's taken me years to unlearn all of the limiting beliefs that I have around me and my relationships with other people. So every time I teach a yoga class, I have a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a hurdle to overcome, but every time I teach a class, it becomes easier. So when it comes to increasing your magnetism, that means going for opportunities that force you to expand, even if they make you uncomfortable, even if they're scary, especially if those opportunities directly align with your purpose and what you know you should be doing. Because when you know that you're doing what you should be doing, your confidence increases, your knowingness increases, and that is what makes you a magnet to all that you desire when you are being exactly who you know you should be. So I hope that all the steps that I mentioned today make you confident with going into your day tomorrow or whenever you choose to implement these steps. I hope that these steps make you confident that you can be the person that you know you want to be, even if you take one step at a time and choose to implement each step one day at a time. I believe in you. I have faith in you, and I am proud of you. My words are getting all mushed up. I just taught a hot yoga class and I kept my water bottle in the car because I did not feel like carrying it. That is self-sabotage if I've ever seen it. So I'm gonna finish closing up the shop and then I'm gonna get in my car, drink my water, and go home. Thank you for spending today with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching the vlogs and commenting and, you know, just being my friend. Like we're parasocial friends now. Like we're like this, but in a parasocial way, right? I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.